get this party started. I think y'all are all on here. You're not here to hear me. I know that. You're here to hear one of the best in the business, Kerry Williams, talk about doing how she closes inside the home. I'm going to give you a background on Kerry. Kerry, I have a lot of perseverance in my life because of Kerry Williams. I have a lot of don't quit in me because of Kerry Williams, because I've watched her and what she's had to go through. She's battled a lot of things to get where she is today. She's had several people not believe in her. And she kept fighting. And it gives me strength when I have someone like that in my life. Those are the types of people I put in my life. I don't put people in my life that, get jealous of someone else's success and quit working. You're not going to be in my life. I'm sorry. I need people in my life like Kerry Williams, who no matter what is happening, if someone's winning and winning big, she's cheering them on. Even if she's losing, she's cheering them on. And that is the sign of a superstar. And the woman is an absolute superstar. And we're blessed to have her here. And we're blessed that she's going to teach us this today. She's got a lot going on in her personal life. We won't talk about that right now, but she does have a lot going on. When I say everybody has a story, please understand, as bright and shiny and fun as she's going to be right now, she's got stuff going on. So be thinking about her, be sending her love, do everything you can. But she's going to knock her socks off today. So Kerry Williams, talk to us about why are you so good in the home? Let's just talk about leads today. Let's don't talk about CCL,
Sure.
like that.
Okay.
You've done the FE leads. You've done everything, girl. And you've been crazy successful to build that book of business to do CCL. So how were you so crazy successful in doing the FE, the mortgage protection, and plain life insurance?
Well, first off, you have to have a schedule. Number one, guys, got to have a schedule, got to keep to a schedule. If you say you're going to make phone calls Thursday and run appointments Friday and Saturday, you need to stick to that schedule. Please don't let other people get in the way, because if you were at a job, they wouldn't let you go home and do the laundry or go pick the kids up. You need to treat this like it's your job. You own your business. Second thing is consistency. You need to be consistent, and it's not going to take 20 dials, guys. 250 if you're full-time a week minimum, or the amount it takes to get to the appointments that you want. If you want 7 appointments and you've got 5 and you've made 300 dials, you need to keep dialing until you hit 7, because that's your goal. Now, that's not always going to happen. So maybe the next day, start a little earlier and get 9. It's consistency. I'm doing some leads right now, guys. I did the leads that Fitz is offering out there. I've got $5, $12, and $16 leads. I'm trying them out. I spoke to 3 people. I booked all 3 of them. I sold one. One's an ex-Amish. She's not quite sure what to do. So she's got to talk to her ex-Amish community, even though she's excommunicated. I have never heard of this before. And then I have another one today. My point is, you need to be consistent. I do everything. I do leads. I do my current clients. I don't do social media at this point. I'm at a different point in my life. But for leads, guys, it's consistency. It's having a schedule. If you're going to, every week, you need to have a schedule with, and especially part-time people, because you've got a full-time job. You need to make sure you're making time Thursday night from 5 till 9 o'clock to make calls for Friday and Saturday, whatever it may be. So if I could give you that piece of advice, that would be probably the biggest piece of advice. And if you get shut down 3 times, you call your upline and say, what am I saying that might be getting them to say no? It's probably one word they need to tweak. Very easy stuff. Did that answer it for you?
Yeah. So when you're in the home, you're sitting there with the customer.
Mm-hmm.
What you have I don't want to call it a script, but you're very like, hey, this is what's going to happen during this meeting.
Yep.
Even if you have to do small talk here or there, you still got your progression of how you get it done. Can you share with us that a little bit?
Sure. The biggest thing that changed for me, that changed my business, is a new guy came into the business and shared this with me. And so I started using it. And guys, it is a game changer. At least it was for me. I talk them up. first. I chit chat them up, whether it be about, their family, their dogs, whatever. Guys, find something that makes them light up. You can see it on their face. Find, you see pictures of grandkids, or they don't have any kids, they've got dogs. Talk about the dogs. Even if you know what the breed, say, what kind of breed is that? Oh my God, why'd you pick that one? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, once I do that, I say, hey, I could sit here and talk to you all night long, but I got to get down to business. You've got things to do, and so do I. And I say, so I'm bringing this out, my ATM, or I tell them my guide, because they tell me I talk too much. Isn't that surprising? And I get a laugh. All right. And then I open my ATM and I sit it down in front of them. Then I have the lead and I say, okay, who's the smart one that sent this in? Ooh. Oh, I did. And I go, ooh, you are awesome, because you want to take care of your family. If it's the guy, now he feels like this big, strong man. If it's the wife, I say, good job. And you've got your husband here. That is awesome. And then this is how I set it up. This is what changed for me. I say, hey, we're going to do 3 things today. First thing is, you're going to tell me why you sent this form in, why it's important to you. Can we agree to that? I'm trying to get them to say yes. I'm getting them in the habit of saying yes to me. So I'm doing this with them. They'll say yes. I said, the second thing is, I have over 35 companies and 100 products. So my job today is to figure out which one fits you best, what fits your budget. That's the most important thing. And to get you through underwriting, because I'm not the one that makes that decision. Okay, can we make that? Is that good? Yes. And the third thing is, Bob and Mary, no nurse is going to come out, no blood taking, no urine, none of that. All we're going to do today, I want you to hear how I said that. All we're going to do today, I'm assuming it. All we're going to do today, Bob and Mary, is figure out a company of choice, send in a simple questionnaire, and underwriting is either going to say yes or no. And even if they say no to you, Bob and Mary, I will come back and write you with someone else. I can cover anyone. I don't care if you had cancer, heart attack, or stroke. I've now just taken all those doubts, because they have health issues, off the table. Can we agree to that? Yes. And then I go into my ATM. And there's another thing I do towards the end, but I didn't know if you wanted to ask something else before I go into that.
A couple things we got to hit on. That's just genius what you said. Okay, who is the smart one that sent this in? Oh my dear Lord, that's a game changer right there. This reminds me of years ago. I went to Fitz's sales meeting, and this young lady stood up and said something, and I used it, and I closed 100% for the next 6 months. I'm hoping someone heard what she just said, and you're going to do what I did. And you're going to close for the next 6 months. Who's the smart one that filled this out? That's good. And then I love what you joke with yourself. They say I talk too much. You're making fun of yourself. You're poking at yourself.
Oh yeah.
That's real. That's like, I want to buy from you. That's real. As opposed to, see, some of y'all are trying to get started and you're scared. And what you want to do is have all this product knowledge and impress them with how smart you are. Pay attention to what Kerry did. She made fun of herself right out of the gate. Quit trying to act like you got to be this perfect, this and that, and know exactly how to say this and say that, and know all the products backwards and forwards. That was all about her. And she brought everything down like, okay, you're a real person, man. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Kerry.
No, what I try. Somebody told me, don't worry about looking stupid. It makes you real.
Yes.
Because if I make mistakes, now they're not looking at me going, oh my God, she's perfect. She's the ultra woman in insurance. No, I get down and they're like, oh, she's real. She's just like me. So guys, don't worry about making mistakes. I do stuff like, oh crap. I just quoted you as a non-smoker and you're a smoker. I'm sorry. And now I'm real. And they go, it's okay. It's okay. Because I really look like I'm upset I did that. I make mistakes like that, guys, where, I do a smoker as a non-smoker and it's $25 more. Okay. I have to apologize and go, ooh, I made a mistake, but I'm real. And they don't get mad at me. They don't go, why did you do that? No, they know I'm a human, right?
Powerful. And I love the way your presentation is the same every time. What's always amazing to me is even Bubba, As crazy as he is, it's the same. Once he gets into it, it's the same. G-Shock, once he gets into it, it's the same. Kerry, once he gets into it, it's the same. Nothing changes. All right, go to your next step, or you just want to jump to the end, or where do you want to go next?
Yeah, it's kind of the next thing I do is, of course, I show pictures of after I've already chit-chatted them up. I go through the ATM and there's a picture page. Guys, this is important. I don't talk a long time on it, but I say, oh, here's a picture of me with my 2 kids and my husband and my mom. And this one here is 6'3". And they're kind of looking at me like, why are you telling me this? And this one over here is 6 foot. And he says, I gave him the short gene. And they laugh. And again, I want them to laugh. So I tell them stuff like that, very small stuff. And hey, that's my mama. She's 94. What? Yeah. And do you see, it makes me real again for them. I'm not just a person in their home. So please just take a minute. Don't talk a long time on yourself. Just say a few things. If you had a tragedy that got you into insurance, talk about that. You know, if someone died or they did have insurance, they didn't have insurance, talk about that. Then I go through the ATM and I get all their financials. Guys, get a sheet of paper, a green sheet, a financial analysis sheet, whatever it may be. And there's a page in there that's about them. You're gonna get their height, their weight, their medications, why they're taking them. If they don't know, Google the medications to figure it out. What insurance do they currently have? Life insurance. If it's at work, we say that's awesome, but we don't count that because you don't get to keep it. I say that right out the gate. If they say, oh, I got, 3 times my salary at work, I go, that is awesome. It's cheap. Get as much as you can. But guess what? 2% of those cases ever pay out. Sorry, just a minute, my phone. Pay out while you're working. Okay, I tell them that stat right away. 2%, that's from LIMRA, you guys. That is a stat. I say, so that's awesome, but that's going to replace the income you're going to lose when someone dies. Okay, can we agree with that? Okay. Then I move on and I say, okay, how do you own your home? How much do you owe on it? If it's a mortgage protection, if it's final expense, I say, okay, do you want to be cremated? Or do you want to get buried? What is important to you and your family? And they tell me. Then I go through their financials. Okay, to make sure you really need this insurance, because maybe you don't need it. Let's tell me what you've got in checking. Do you have a 401k most likely? Is it an old 401k or one you're currently in? Oh, I've got both. Make a note of it. Don't get excited. Just say, how much do you have in the old one at your old company? Oh, I got 80 grand. How much do you have in the one you have today? Okay, that's 40 grand. Great. Move along. Just keep in mind that they have that because we're taking care of what we're taking care of today, which is insurance. Then I get all that information. And before I quote them, now I know how much they make. I know everything. I say, Bob and Mary, I have something really important I need to ask you. Do you see how my demeanor changes? I'm not fun Kerry anymore. I go, this is really important. And I ask it of all the couples that I meet with. Mary, if Bob died last night, could you make the mortgage happen or would it be difficult? I already know. I know how much he makes. I say, because here's the thing, and I'll put my sheet in front of him and I cross Bob's salary off. Let's say he makes 5 grand. Cross it off and I say, this is gone. Well, I have that $100,000 policy. I said, how much do you make right now, Bob? Oh, I make 65,000. I said, that'll last you a year and a half. I'm talking about, can you make it happen without his salary? You don't get it replaced. You got to come up with money to bury him. You've got 2 kids under the age of 16. They need clothes. Do they play? You told me they played sports. How's that look now, Mary? Oh my God. And she starts hyperventilating. And I told Bob to be quiet, by the way. I said, Bob, you're dead. Don't say anything. And he starts to say, well, she can. And I go, nope, you're not here. And this is how it really is, Bob. She won't have you to help her. So I need you to shush for a minute. And I said, what are you going to do? Well, I have to go get another job. I said, what are you going to do with the kids? Oh my God, I hadn't thought of that. Oh my God, there's daycare. Oh my God. Will you move in with your mother? Does your mother have cats? Do you like cats? I do this and I get it where she is panicked. And guys, the reason is this is how it happens. And I know people who have lost loved ones on here know what I'm talking about. And then once I've taken her down a couple tiers, you know, what about the kids? Where would you move? How would you do this? I then say, okay, now Mary is dead, Bob. What about you? And Bob will say, oh, I can do it. It's all good. And I'll say, hey, Bob, you have 3 kids under the age of 16. Do you think they might need you more than a week? Because that's all your employer is going to give you for bereavement. So now are you going to use your vacation because you can't use sick time? And don't you think you and your kids might need a vacation 6 months or 8 months down the road because you've just lost the most important person in your life? And here's what's going on over here with Mary. Yes, Bob, you're going to need to do that. And I don't shut her up. I want him to see how panicked she is. And she'll say things like, Bob, I'll say, you going to move the kids out of their school? Are you going to get a nanny? You got to bring your mom in? What are you going to do? And now he's like, oh. And I said, don't you think it would be a good idea to put a little something on Mary and make sure you have some money to get the kids professional help if they need it, bring someone in to get you through a difficult time, because now you're in charge of those little human beings, not 2 people, just you. Oh yeah. And Mary's going, yes, we need to do that. And I go, okay, let me give you some quotes. I want that emotion really high before I give them the quotes, because if I don't do that, I don't close the deal, guys. That is the whole thing right there. If I don't get them where their emotions are high to where they realize this could be a serious situation, I'm not going to close it. Any other questions for me on that?
No, you've given a lot. I want to stop you there.
I'm sorry.
Don't you say sorry.
I get going.
Do not say sorry. I think this is one of the best calls we've ever done.
And did you see my emotion though? This is how I talk to my clients, guys. Just like I just talked to you. I am high emotion. I'm like, what will you do?
Yeah, I think, and really all we can hope for now is everybody's heard what she does. And, my hope would be you would do everything she does, but I know you won't. Try some of the things she's doing. That's all I'm asking you to do. Okay.
Just try it.
Try. It's good. Some are going to be uncomfortable and feel funny at first. It felt funny for her at first. You just little by little, start weaving what she does into your presentation. I know it's too much to ask to do all at once. Some of you will. Some of you will be crazy and will do the whole thing, and you're going to kill it. Some of you are going to ease into it. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do. But just what she's doing, what she's given us here, no doubt, I think this is one of the best calls we have ever done. Because I got chills when you were talking about the whole, who's the smart one that filled this out. I got chills when you shut the husband up, because you're correct. Now, I think one of the most difficult things for all of us is when we watched, what happened with Chris Long, and Courtney couldn't ask anything. Courtney was there all by herself, couldn't ask Chris a thing. And you brought that to such reality when you said what you just said. And that's the reality, is they gotta, you can't help. There's nothing you can do. Like I've told Carolyn since we lost Chris, I've told Carolyn, hey, please remind Tamara she's got this bank account here. And Carolyn's got the passport, the passport's the password. She's got everything for it, because I can't say, hey, baby doll, just go here, press this app. It's right there. I can't do that. I'll be dead. Powerful, Kerry. Man, you were good. Thank you. Thank you.
And did you notice my demeanor? My demeanor changed. It always changed. I could become very anxious for them, and I become very urgent. And if I don't do that, guys, I don't close. So the one thing you can do is don't get uncomfortable saying he died last night. This isn't life insurance. They know why you're there. You know what? It's a reality. But the biggest thing I would tell new people is, like Paul just said, try a couple things and get uncomfortable for a minute, because you're going to grow. And all of a sudden you'll see the difference. And that's what happened for me. And I went from $800 a week to 3,000 to 5,000 to sometimes 10,000 because I got uncomfortable. When you're comfortable, you don't grow.
Oh, this is a perfect way to end this week's calls. Thank you, Kerry. And please hear me, everybody. Kerry's going through stuff right now, and she took time out of her day to sit with y'all, to help y'all. Please take this to heart because it was not easy for her to get on this call today. She's carrying a lot on her shoulders, but she still agreed to meet with y'all because she wants y'all to be better. You know, that's the type of leader she is. If you're direct to her on her team, just know the blessing you have. Please don't ever take her for granted. I don't. She makes me stronger, and I hope she makes you stronger.
We're so happy to be on your team.
Oh,
So, Paul, it's amazing, and we love our team, and we want our team to be successful. So, guys, please ask us. And you know what? George helps us out when we're out of town. We will help anyone. Just call us. Just ask us. Just make sure you know we're available. We help everybody. And same with George and the rest of the team. I'm just saying George because he helped when we were out of town, and we really appreciated that.
Someone just posted, they don't have their name. They just an iPhone user says, I want to buy insurance from her. Maybe we should leave her phone.
I appreciate the opportunity, and I just hope it helps anybody, guys. And if you want to talk to me about it, just call me or get my number from Paul or somebody, and I will go over it with you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, gang, have a wonderful, spectacular, beautiful weekend. I think Kerry has set you on the course. I hope you use what she said right here, right now, and take your career off with us. I love you guys. Go get yours. I'm getting mine.
Thank you. Guys, have a great week.
Thank you.